Hello, everyone, and welcome to Campus Unlocked, cracking the code to college life. I'm your host, Roslyn Nira, an international student from Zimbabwe studying at Warren Wilson College. Through this podcast, we'll be exploring all the unspoken rules and the hidden gems of college life that don't always make it into the orientation guide. These are the things I wish someone had told me when I first arrived on campus, and I'm excited to share them with you as you navigate college life with more ease. Today we're joined by Jacqueline, who is going to help us dive deeper into some of these topics. But before we get started, I will let her introduce herself. Jackie, could you tell us more about who you are, how long you've been going here, what you're studying, and when are you graduating?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Rosalind. My name is Jacqueline Vargas. I am a senior year social work major here at Wilson. It's my second year. I transferred from a community college back home in Chicago, and I'm actually graduating this May 2025.
Wow, that's great. So let's jump into it.
Yeah.
So the first question reads, what's something you wish someone had told you when you first got to Warren Wilson College, but you had to figure out on your own?
Yeah, that's a great question. I hadn't toured Wilson before I came here, so I wasn't really aware of the terrain. It's a lot more walking. There's a lot more hills. It's a lot more physically strenuous than I was prepared for. So something that I wish somebody would have told me when I first got to Warren Wilson was to bring better walking shoes. You really need them. It's going to help out your legs a lot.
And some hiking shoes.
Definitely.
Do a lot of hiking here.
Exactly.
So what's the unofficial dress code around campus? Are there places or times when you notice certain trends?
Yeah, I'd say that Wilson's a really interesting place when it comes to fashion. Everybody's very open with it. Like, this is definitely a place where you can feel comfortable to explore trends and try new things. I do notice, obviously, hiking clothes and farm clothes is more incorporated into an everyday lifestyle. So people wear a lot of overalls and boots and things like that, which makes sense for the kind of college we live in. But this is definitely a place where you should feel comfortable to explore.
I totally agree. What's the proper etiquette for finding a good spot in the library or other study spaces? Are there any hidden gems?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the cold room. Just because it's open all the time and they have computers in there, printers, and usually late at night there's not that many people there. So that's definitely my favorite place to study is in the cold room.
Are there any private study rooms, and how do you access those?
There's actually some upstairs in the upper floor of the library. There are private study rooms. You just go in there, close the door. Sometimes there are people in there, but Boone stays open a little bit later also, so you can go into a room and study by yourself there also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's the best place to sit in the dining hall? Is there a best table or unwritten rule about the dining hall?
Yeah, I think that people go in and there's so many people, and it's sometimes hard to find people that you know. So if you're sitting by yourself, the upstairs is really nice because you can just sit there and relax, and it's not usually that busy. But people just like to eat with their friends, and it's a nice place to be social. So really just wherever you feel the most comfortable.
Okay. What's the social scene like on weekends? Are there any traditions or places people go to that new students might not know about?
The social scene, sometimes there's things that go on, there's school sanctioned events that they're hosted on the weekends, different kinds of social gatherings. I know during the weekends is the only time a lot of people get to hang out with each other. So it really depends on what your social group is into. And off campus, there's a lot of hiking trails and different places to go. And sometimes the adventure programs will set up things like that to get you off campus. So there's a lot to do on the weekends.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the unspoken rules of working on a crew? Are there things you learn about getting through a shift that no one tells you up front?
Yeah, I definitely think it's depending on the kind of work crew that you're on. I know Gladfelter and athletics, they might have more like physically demanding jobs or like landscaping, anything like that. And when it comes to, I was on WIDE last year. So you do like a lot of different like workshops and programming. And this year I'm on Spiritual Life. So you do like a lot of like spiritual affiliated events. So I guess it's just more like understanding like that you like are friends with these people, but you guys are actually like also colleagues. So you have to like be professional and show up and do your work. But I think that's just a good lesson for anybody our age to learn.
Okay, yeah, I agree. Are there any unwritten rules about dating or relationships on campus that everyone seems to know?
I think so. Like it's definitely like we're adults in an adult place, you know.
Yeah.
Like everybody's coming from different parts of the world and different like romantic expectations, you know. But also understanding that you're in college and you're gonna do whatever feels best for you, whether that means exploring or not, you know, or like just things like that. Just doing what makes you feel most comfortable and how you would like to engage with other people.
Okay. What's the unspoken rule about attending campus events? Is there a certain way to act, arrive, or even live?
Yeah, like campus events, like people always joke like, oh, it's like on Wilson time, which means like things always start a little bit later than they actually start.
Yeah.
So it's always like 15 minutes later.
Yeah.
But no, just like if you go somewhere, be courteous, ask if you can help clean up, ask if they need help setting up, anything like that, you know, just really showing up for the people that you live with, you know.
Okay. What's the most underrated thing about Warren College that no one talks about but everyone should know?
I think your like career connections that come after this, like your professors are really knowledgeable people and they also know a lot of people, and if you get into like if you like establish good relationships with the people that teach you, you're able to like form a lot of like professional connections from that. You know, so like once you leave Wilson, like a lot of the times the people that taught you here are actually able to help you be connected with jobs outside of Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. I actually didn't know about that.
Yeah, no, there are some really great resources here for that.
Yeah, okay. If you could create an official guide for new students based on the unspoken rules that we just talked about, what would be the top 3 things you'd include?
Yeah, definitely. Like number 1, just be curious. You know, things are a lot different here than a lot of people are used to, you know, and just going into it with an open mind. 2, know how to get creative and glad, you know, like sometimes there's not always things that like we're looking forward to, but there's like seasonings and things like that. You just have to know how to like nourish yourself, because like you're not always going to get exactly what you wanted for the meal, but that doesn't mean you have to go hungry, you know. And then 3, I guess just like remember to focus on your studies, you know, like we're obviously in college and like we can get so wrapped up with like the work program and our friends and all these extracurriculars that we want to do, but just really remembering at the end of the day like that you're here to be a college student and get a degree, and that's really the most important part. Yeah. Thank you, Jackie, for sparing this time to come on this podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. We have come to the end of our podcast. Stay tuned. Thank you. Bye.